Hi guys, so I have another video here for you, and this time it's gonna be another swatching session because I realized I haven't filmed or uploaded a video like that for a while. So I just kind of thought that this could be really fun way to kind of start this holiday season, and I decided to film with a color that I haven't filmed before and that I think is very appropriate for this season because it's gonna be the shade red or the color red, and I'm gonna show you every single palette that I have with this color, and I'm gonna swatch my favorite shades. So hopefully you like that idea. And in case you like these types of videos, I have an entire playlist. I will link it down below. We've already done pink, yellow, blue, orange, purple, green. I think we have all the rainbow. Like we're only missing maybe browns or grays or something, which I don't really have that much of. But if you want to see a video like that, definitely let me know in the comments down below and give this video a thumbs up. But let me actually put these aside and let's go through them one by one, and there's a lot of them. We're gonna start with the smaller ones. So I have the Wolfa palette by Shall We Makeup. This one's just like a mini little palette with this beautiful fox packaging. And as you can see, it's very, I would say it's very beautiful autumnal color story. And you have this shade in the middle. This doesn't have shade name, so I have no clue what it's called, but it's very, very kind of bright coppery red. So we're gonna put it over here, and yeah, it's very coppery red. So that's for the Wolfa palette. And I have this beautiful Little Cosmetics palette. This is the Avatar The Last Airbender Fire palette. I've been using her quite a bit this month and the last month because it's in my autumn collection, and I've been trying to use her a bit. I think I've used her 6 times so far, which I did a look with her when I was first reviewing her, and then since then 5 more times. And you have this beautiful vibrant red called Agni, which I don't actually wear a lot, and if I do, I usually wear it with like orange or yellow because it is so vibrant, and with my skin tone and everything, like these types of reds just don't look that great on me, so I have to kind of make them work by using another colors with them and kind of make it more me. And then you have the shade Roku, which is just such a like metallic red with these goldy orange sparkles. Like you can see that it's just so beautiful. I wish I could break my arm to like show you better angle, but yeah, we can't really do that. But look at that. It's so pretty. I really love this one. Like it's a beautiful shade. And I find that if I have reds that are very sparkly and very like metallic and stuff, they look better on me than these more kind of like one-dimensional, more flat shimmers. So yeah, I do prefer if they're more sparkly. That definitely helps the whole endeavor. And then I have the Shred Cosmetics and Betty Bean collab. This is the Halloween palette, and this one has one of the shades that's kind of reddish, and it's the shade Afterlife. This one is very similar to the shade in the Shall We Makeup palette. It's just like a little bit darker, a little bit like rustier, I would say. But yeah, like again, kind of flat, kind of not really my vibe. And I usually have to do like a really sparkly shade next to it to kind of make it more me. And as you can see, maybe you can see in the reflection, it shifts between kind of pinky and orange or like peach colors. Then I have the Mighty Monster palette. This is a collaboration between Oden's Eye and Annette Oberstadt, and this is their second collab. And you have this beautiful matte shade called Ragnarok. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it's a beautiful, vibrant red matte. It doesn't swatch the best, but honestly, on the eyes, it looks wonderful. Like, I love that on the eyes. It's just that the swatches aren't the best. And, like, for me, I definitely want the palette to look better on the eyes than in the swatch. Like, I don't really need the swatch to look great. So, yeah, but you can see on the actual finger, like, it is pretty dark red. And I do love it, especially with this yellow. Like, these two, and then this or this on the lid. Stunning, gorgeous, love that one. It's just, I don't know, like, I just really love this palette. I don't have such a strong emotional connection to the other two from this collection, but this one is good. Then I have the All I Ever Wanted palette by Unearthly. It's a all shimmer palette, as you can see, and there's the shade Blood Moon. And again, pretty sparkly, very red though. Like, yes, it's sparkly, but only has the red in it, maybe a bit of pink, but like very barely. But as you can see, like, it has so much coverage and so much pigment. Yeah, it's definitely, like, I don't know, I don't think that these shades look great on me, so I only use it as like an accent. But I still think it's fun to use these once in a while. So then I'd like to mention this Merry Christmas palette by Odin's Eye. She's not for sale anymore. Odin's Eye doesn't carry it anymore. And I don't have the shade there anymore as well because I've used it as for a nail polish. But there was this shade Poinsettia. I think that's how you pronounce that. But I could be very wrong about that. I know once somebody commented on my video explaining how you're supposed to pronounce that, but it's been like a year ago, so I don't remember. This one was really beautiful red in the packaging, but then on the eyes it was kind of like magenta pinky. So I didn't love that. And that was the reason why I used it in the nail polish. Because I just hated how it looked on the eyes. And it's like part of that is just it like really clashes with my undertone, but part of that is also that that shade was really bad. And it was very dusty, and you know, if you've been here, you already know that. You've already heard that million times from me, because I never shut up about that. Then, another collab with Udenside, this time with Angelica, and it's the Trick or Treat palette. There's this really vibrant matte red. I love the texture of this, like, I love touching this. It's such a nice texture. And it's very similar to this one from the Little palette. But I'd say this one has teeny bit more orange in it. Like, just teeny smidge, just like pinch. But it's really cute. And I do like it with these like oranges and stuff. And then I don't know, like, this one's kind of like rusty orangey red, and then this one is more berry. And I don't know how to count berry shades, because I think some of them I've mentioned in my pink collection, but then some of them I'm pretty sure I said kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it to the red video, and then I don't remember. So there's the Vampire Fangs, which I actually do really like this with pinks. Like, I love these berry shades with pinks. I feel like they're not as extremely, I don't know, I feel like it's easier to blend that into my skin tone, and maybe it's also just it's more normal to wear pink eyeshadow than it is to wear a red eyeshadow. Maybe it's also that, but yeah. This one is almost kind of like a berry brown. Then you have the Trick or Treat, which is very berry shimmer shade. It's kind of like, it's not really raspberry. I'm trying to think of like something that I could compare it to, but it's a beautiful kind of pinkish red. And yep, that's this palette. I do like the quality of it, but it's just, yeah, I'm not not an avid red wearer. I don't really, you know me, you know what I usually wear. Then I have the Salmonet 2, sorry, Sulmonet 2. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce that, but also, what do I know? Odin's Eye again, and there's this corally shade. I think I've already mentioned that in the orange collection. But it's very beautiful kind of corally shade. And then you have the shade Eternal. It's not my favorite shade. I actually don't like both of these shimmers because they're not really sparkly and it's not undertone that I really like. Like, the thing is, I don't mind the look of these two even though they're the same formula, but it's just because I like the colors more on me, I guess. Even though I usually really like warm tones, but I just like them to be sparkly, like really sparkly. But I mean, it's still nice formula and color. It's just, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm just not really used to wear them, and they don't really, they don't really, they don't really grab me all that much. This is the Colourpop Legend of Korra. Mine is a little bit different because I kind of change it all the time. But hello, focus. Focus. Okay, so we're not gonna focus. You have these two shades, Firebending, and then the shade that was Harmony was like a matte red, sorry, shimmer red. I've changed it up with one of my deep potted shades from the Alter Ego palette by Glam Shop. But the shade Firebending is the original shade, and again, doesn't swatch the best. I actually do quite like how this one looks on the eyes, because it is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like especially with the orangey and yellowy shades, it just kind of looks really nice and it's not too vibrant and it's like easy to blend out. But it is a bit more of a like a dusty formula. Then I have the Serpent palette by Micka Beauty Shop in collaboration with Martha's Makeup. And you have the shade Apopis, which is kind of like a berry shade. So again, I don't know, does it belong here? To me, I would kind of put this in pinks because I just feel like there's more pink than red. But, you know, colors are a very personal thing. Everybody sees them differently. Everybody categorizes them differently. So I'm just gonna put it here and you can decide whether it belongs here or not. I even heard some people mention that this is purple, but to me, like, this is purple. This is like pinky reddish berry color, like, to me. But again, very personal. Then we have the Beauty Moons Cosmetics in collaboration with my friend Philip, and this is the Gospel palette. I love this palette, like, it's such a gorgeous little one. And you have this very red shade called Vicious. Like, this one is very kind of bloody red and beautiful. Then you have this shade, Upstart Crow. And this one, I don't know, it's a bit pinkier, but I think it still categorizes as red, or at least to me, I would categorize it as red, but it definitely has a lot of like pinkiness to it. If you compare it to like these two, it has a lot of pinkiness. And then there's this shade called Up the Woman. I think this is more pink, honestly, in my opinion, and also mine hard pan, so I don't even know if I will be able to, yeah, I won't be able to swatch it. I would have to dig into the pan with something sharp. But yeah, these two matte shades, and I think they're really pretty, and I love to wear them with the pink one. The kind of pastel, well, more like bubblegum pink. And I already don't have space to put these. Okay. Then I have the, oh my god, there's so much fallout, which actually is from the previous day, but whatever. Then I have the Beauty Bay Celestial Charms. This is the big palette. And hello, focus. Focus, come on. This one I think has more like berry shades in my opinion. But the shade Oracle I think is the most red out of them, out of all of them. Though, I'm actually not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, I think this is more like pinky berry. Sorry. I'm gonna also swatch the shade Orion. And like, yeah, like I think I wouldn't put that with reds, but I know some people will, so whatever. And is that everything? Yeah, like these other ones are pinky. So that's that one. Then in this DIY empty palette, I have, these are my depotted shades from the Alter Ego palette by Glam Shop. And there's also some other depotted shades, but this one is from Alter Ego, and this one is called Barvnik. And I think this one is really nice red, kind of like a little bit more toned down, almost like pastel-y red, like not fully obviously, but like kind of towards pastels. And then this kind of more pinky one. I think this one is Kalinka, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, this one is Kalinka. And yeah, I would definitely categorize this as more like a pinky shade, like compared to this, right? Like this is what I just categorize as red in my brain. By the way, I love this little corner over here. It just works for me. Then I have the Moonshroom palette by Lunar Beauty. I love the packaging of this, like this is such a gorgeous palette. And it has this shade called Foxfire, which is kind of like a reddish orangey shade. Like, I don't know. I would say that this is more orange, but also I'm pretty sure some people would categorize this as red. So I don't love the shimmers in this palette, to be honest. And I think this one is one of those that creases the most out of the whole palette. Like I just, you know, this one is a little grease factory. So I don't actually really wear them all that much, and if I do, it's only on the lower lash line because I can't use any of them in my inner corner and they crease on my outer corner. They crease on my lid, but I sometimes use the shade Fungi in my outer corner because it is like dark enough and my outer corner doesn't really creases all that much. So sometimes I do that, but that's about it with this palette. Then we have the Nomad Fuji 5 Lakes palette. This is the palette that is inspired and based in my Mount Fuji. And you have all of these red shades. So I have this very, very vibrant red called Burning Bush. Let me put it over here. I can fit so much more when I do it like this. I don't know why I haven't done that before, but yeah, this one is very nice, vibrant red that I like a lot. Then we have the shade Momiji. I think that's how you pronounce that. And this one again, more like a berry pinky one. But it's still really pretty. I do like them both, and I think they're wonderful formula. And then the Fiery Maple, actually pretty nice shimmer. Like it sparkles really nicely. It sparkles a bit more like pinky. I feel like in the palette it looks a lot red, a lot more red, but then the sparkle is like pinky, pinkish, something like that. But yeah, I love this palette. I wish I would have time to use her more because I still see so many looks that I haven't done yet. And I think I'm gonna, should I put her in my, maybe I am gonna put her in my winter collection because like the blues, the reds, the yellows, I feel like it is kind of Christmassy almost, right? And there's snow on the mountain. I know it's there all year, but I'm just trying to justify, like, why should I put it there? Because I know that I mostly focus on the palettes that either are in my project pan, or the ones that are really new, or the ones that are in my seasonal collection. Then, a little spoiler, in case you don't want to know how the Sinister palette looks like from Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty, skip for a bit. I will try to write down timestamp. But this is the Sinister palette. It's the 20 color palette by Cosmic Beauty, and obviously it's like a half red. So you have this shade called Danger. It's a very, very vibrant red. Should I put it here so that you can see that it's kind of like that shade? I've only used this one 3 times for my review, and I swatched it once. But yeah, it has a bit more kind of coral in it, which is surprising because in the pan it looks exactly like this shade. Like they're identical, at least to my eye. But yeah, it doesn't look the same way on in the swatch. Then the Nightmare, which is a lot deeper and more like almost like raspberry shade. Then you have the shade Warning. I do like the texture and the quality of the shimmer of the matte. Sorry, the shimmers could be better. I just find them to be kind of basic. Like if you compare them to like Little and stuff, I feel like it doesn't really sparkle all that much. It doesn't crease, which is great, but it doesn't really sparkle all that much. And as I said, that's kind of a problem for me when it comes to reds. I just don't really like the way that that looks on me. Then we have the shade Strange, which is, in my opinion, very pinky berry shade, kind of like mauvey toned almost. And then we have the shade Damned. And can you please swatch? And this one is like a really deep, kind of browny red. Yeah, I think on the eyes it's, I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like this. From what I remember, it did kind of look like that. So yeah, but if you like red, I feel like you have a lot. And if you also like cool tones or grays and stuff like that, this one could be really nice to have. And I think right now there's the Black Friday sale happening over at Cosmic Beauty. Then in this magnetic palette, I have my Micka Beauty Shop shades. And there's this shade called Gluttony. And it's like a pinky, almost silver, going into green. And like I feel like there's a bit of red, but also it has a lot of pink silver. But I don't know, maybe you would be interested in this shade. Like it is kind of like berry, and yeah, I feel like for some people this could categorize still as red. And I love the shift with the green and the like silvery pink, and it's just, I mean, it looks magical. These are from the 7 Elysian scents, and I think the restock and the Black Friday is currently up as well. Or is it tomorrow? I'm not completely sure, but yeah. You can get these soon-ish. Then I have the Colourpop collaboration with Pokemon. I love this palette. I love Pokemon. It's just so much fun, and I love that they have the original quad here. And you have this Pokeball shade called I Choose You. It's more like a satin shade, so I don't love that. But it's, I don't know, there's something about the color of it, the undertone, that is kind of nice. But I do need to use topper to make it like me. Otherwise, very cute. I still can't get over the Micka shade, I'm sorry. So that is Pokemon. And then the last palette that we have in front of me is the Gourmand Girls in collaboration with Do This By the Bunny, the Spooked palette, which is their Halloween palette from 2 years ago. And you have the shade Terror, which is very, very vibrant red. I love that one. I actually do kind of like this one. I feel like, I know, I've used it with this kind of orangey shade, and it looked really nice. And then you can use like this kind of berry. I don't know, like, I feel like it's nice. And I don't know if we have a shade like this here. Like it's kind of pretty dark red, but not completely like brown or purple or something like that. It's pretty unique actually in this collection. But those are all of my red shades. Can I actually position myself so that you can see everything? I do like these vibrant ones. I just have to use them with yellow, so that's kind of like a little bit of a issue. Love this very, very sparkly one from Little. This red flag looks really nice with some really sparkly and interesting topper or special shade next to it. I do like these more berry ones. This kind of almost orangey one, great, love that one. I obviously love the Micka Beauty Shop, but I would call this pink with green shift. This kind of brownie shade, also really pretty. And then like this would be really nice if it sparkled a lot. Like if this sparkled, I would actually maybe like it. Especially with like, I don't know, like yellows, oranges. I could even I could even see myself wearing this with like some kind of really interesting, maybe like iridescent teal. But here is kind of the whole collection. It's not as much as previous colors because I just don't really wear red all that much, and I also don't see like that much difference in the shades. Like it's not like green, for example, where you have so many different undertones and colors. Like I feel like it's either vibrant red or it's berry or it's purple or it's pink and or it's like coral, but that's pretty much all that there is. And I don't really mind it all that much because I'm not really striving to make my collection bigger when it comes to red shades. I think I have a really nice selection. I wouldn't mind having something that's like lighter, slightly, like maybe itty bittier, lighter than this. I think that would be a really nice color to have. But apart from that, like I just wish that the shimmers that I have were sparklier. I think that's the only problem that I have with them. Otherwise, I think they're really nice, but I just miss the sparkle. I mean, do you see how the Micka is so far ahead when it comes to the other shades? Like, you can't compare them. And like, if I have had this kind of effect with this shade, that would be completely different story. Like, I'd worship that shade, but it's just not really happening right now. So let me know which shade was your favorite. Let me know if you have any of these palettes, and how often do you wear a red eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be a full monochromatic red look, but you know, how often would you say you wear red eyeshadows? And definitely, if you know some kind of really nice red color story, write it down below. Maybe it could be really helpful to somebody. And I always like to just kind of read your comments and get some inspiration. But that's for today. If you have some kind of shade or color family or even brand that you would like me to swatch in this type of manner, also write it down below. I'll be super happy to hear from you. And I hope you've had a great day. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. So bye.